Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to DPL for the Season 3 promotion games. That last game versus Dome Defenders and TFK. What a game. We have one of the players with us now casting, my co-caster, Tetra.
Hello, I was the best player on the team. I just want to put that out there.
For sure. All right, but now we're going to come in and we're going to see Genesis versus POGFISH. Should be another great game to watch. What are your predictions, Tetra?
Well, from what we've played against POGFISH, they're quite a sort of communication based team. I think. Same with Frisky, to be honest. Their comms are on point, but I think gunfight wise, it's going to come down to Frisky Fraggers winning these.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that Genesis has a lot of the gun skill there. But Pogfish definitely has a lot of communication. I think this team is really built up of a lot of players who just played the game together and have kind of come together and made a team. They really know how to work together and communicate. And I think that's really going to go to their advantage. It does look like the teams are ready and they're getting into the game, so we should be in shortly. Looks like we're coming in on our first map. Kill Dome should be a good one to start it off with. Operation Bison Fang. Really, we have a map. It presents some interesting decisions here. We have the castle. That's going to really make the attacker. It's going to tempt the attackers to take it because it does have some line of sight onto bomb. That's really going to make it easy for the defenders to hold bomb, hold jungle, as long as they hold castle. So castle is going to be really pivotal for the attackers to, if not take, at least suppress. They do have the option of coming straight from beach into castle, so we might see that come. Don't have to worry about wasting a charge on the red door. Um, Genesis setting up. Looks like they're going to have their mop sitting up in this corner over here, ready to just suppress beach. Probably a really good spot for it. You're going to get a little bit of height advantage. Maybe you could even get up on the stairs and see towards the door. Get in there, get that early pick, get that damage. Obviously, with the beach door, you have to kick it. Kind of get locked in place there. So really, if the defenders can get line of sight onto that, it's usually good for at least some free damage, if not a free pick. Attackers do seem like they want to take that castle door. Again, castle's going to be really strong here. Castle has the line of sight onto bomb, and once you get that door down, you can kick down the castle door, even with power off. So you kick that down, you get right in there, you sprint, you're on bomb. Honestly, if you could just get a smoke grenade up here in the jungle to keep that ruins from seeing you, you're going to do really well, get a lot of bomb control, have pretty much all the cover in jungle to yourself. Not to mention Castle, which is going to be able to just control no man's land there, and even into base. So really, if they can take Castle here, I think Pogfish is going to do very well on this attack. Um, they should be able to take this castle. Genesis does look like they're setting up for a lot of holding in jungle, maybe even in pit. Probably someone playing in base. Uh, does look like Pogfish is considering splitting into beach. Definitely a potential spot for them to take. Again, that beach push, you're going to be really able to just come in there fast and get in there and support the take into castle. So I think that is an excellent split. You're not going to be too split apart. You're going to be able to come back together, get your 5 men there, and I think you're really going to be able to push strong into jungle. Now, Genesis does seem to be having a good setup here. Again, I think their mop's in a good spot. The barbed wire and pit, I think, is good. They can fight it from jungle, but I think they're really going to be seeding pit here. I don't know how much that they're really going to take advantage of it here, because you do have this pit where you can play a lot in it. Obviously, back here, that's a pretty strong place. You've got these pillars in the middle of the pit, really just going to block off the line of sight from the red door, probably stop some flashbangs. So I think you can play here and just pop around the corners, do some chip damage, fall back into base if you need to. Obviously, that's a risk if the attackers do come from beach, because then you're going to have your back exposed. But still, I think that that's a pretty strong place that you can hide and hold. This raised area, that's going to be another good spot to play. You can get right in there. So you could dedicate some players to pit, but it doesn't look like Genesis is planning to do that. It really looks like they're planning to play from jungle and just kind of block that off. Not the worst strategy in the world, but I think they could play it a bit stronger here. It doesn't look like it's going to matter. Again, it does look like the Pogfish is planning to go into castle and beach, so the other side of the map. So it's really not going to come into consideration. Now, their barb and castle, I think that's a much better barb. I believe you can, as Pogfish is drawn, get over that little flip desk. That's
Yes,
going to
it
be
is
really,
possible.
yeah. So they're going to be able to bypass it and take castle, but they're still going to have to go through to get through that door. So if Genesis has a player playing in this area by the log, ready to counter the jungle or the castle push, I think that's going to be good. If they have someone playing up in ruins, they can get the line of sight in there into the barb. So it's not going to be useless, but it's not going to be as strong as something else they could do. Um, you know, they've still only marked down 2 barbed wire, so maybe if they readjusted, put that one there and then put another one here, I think that could really be the double barb and allow them to get a lot of map control from that. But we'll have to see as this goes on. It does seem like the game is paused, so I believe we're fixing something technical here, but we should be moving on. Again, the team's really putting all their planning into this. They've been here for a while, so I'm expecting this to be a good round.
I don't know if much planning has been done. More snobs drawing, I think.
Snarm's drawing is effectively the same as planning. It gets you that morale boost. Morale is so important in this game. If you're not having a good time, why are you even playing? Tetra, anything that I haven't seen that you want to talk about?
Well, I've just seen something that's been deleted, but I'm guessing that was just a fun little joke. They were planning to wall charge Pith for some reason. Um, but yeah, yeah. Oh, turns out they're actually walling into castle. Seems like maybe going from
Interesting.
beach or
Double
through.
charge first round. This
Yeah,
this especially with the green door right next to it.
I don't know.
They might still be just messing with the pucks.
Hopefully, they're just messing with the puck. So,
It looks like the teams and the refs are ready. Timer is officially starting now. Um, what a mess on the map. But yeah, based on what it looked like, it does seem like Pogfish is intending to take beach and castle, and really, hopefully the beach team will come in. We'll probably see at least one come in from castle. I'm imagining they're going to send 2 to beach, and the other will kind of hold base, probably a saber player. The rest of the team will push into castle. If they can get castle control, that's going to be huge. Their main concern is going to be this jungle, these rocks, and these little back areas. And, they've already marked those with exclamation points. So really good on them. If they can get... I don't see any smoke grenade markers down, but they should probably be bringing smokes here, getting some smokes down into the jungle, just really giving them that extra bit of visual concealment to get to the bomb, to get that bomb control, to take this southern jungle cover. That's going to be really strong contesting most of the map. And if they can do that, if they can get castle and get through castle, this round is theirs. I think Jen is going to be in a really hard spot. Yeah, we do see 2 players playing in castle. I don't know if that's going to be enough. No one really seems to be in base, which is going to leave it all down to Genesis's mop player, Reptar. Let's see if he's able to do it.
Oh, we see what seems to be at the moment a 2-3 split going Castle Beach. So they're gonna have more of the control going to that upper castle area, trying to clear that out. We'll see. They're late kicking. It seems like they're gonna blow castle first and then put pressure on that. Oh, hold on. Never mind. Castle Beach has been kicked. They're pushing in. Castle blown as well. Fishy pushing up to the left side does see one of the Genesis players through the windows, and he's pushed down. They've They both dropped down. They've lost that upper castle control. That can push in here. This could be lethal. We'll see what happens. Fishy getting the kill on Emethine. Dad here doesn't realize that there's someone behind those barrels there. He will be trying to push around. Doesn't check it, but does take out Playboys in the process. Foom here with the saber, waiting for that either kick or open. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. Snarm's AP over the top of castle. The smoke coming out, smoking off that long base area. Like Red said, getting that smoke off, being able to push up there. Fishy holding the long angles here. Base over to jungle. There are a lot of Genesis players just hiding behind cover. See if they can do anything with this. See, 3v5 situation doesn't seem like the best. Fishy pushing up, trying to get some damage in on Centreo. Is able to land a couple of shots. Dad pushing up. Brochelius getting him. Aisha in the water. Is going to get stuck there. And is getting taken out. Snarms, Foom, and Fishy here in the 3v2 situation. Fishy taking out Centreo. Snarms, Fishy, and Foom. They're all pushing up. Fishy in water. And we've got Brochelius and Reptar. Fishy pushing up Reptar. Reptar isn't able to take the kill on Foom. Is getting taken out, but there is the trade from Snarms onto the final player, and that is the first round win of Genesis versus POGFISH. It's 1-0 now to POGFISH.
I mean, for a round that had so much time in planning, really cutting it close in execution there.
Yeah.
Now with 5 seconds left to get on bomb, but POGFISH takes round 1 of this game. Really strong start from them, really coming in and putting Genesis on the ropes. I do think we did see a little bit of POGFISH's, I don't want to say weakness, but some errors they made there. They were pushing in and really not checking corners. We saw multiple times, especially in that push into jungle. I think the biggest issue with the push into jungle is several of the players came in by themselves without support from behind. Again, we were talking about their communication. I don't know if there's a communication error there, but really you need to push with your team. If you're going to push into that crossfire of 3 or 4 defenders alone, you're gonna die. You might get a pick, but you're probably going to die. And we saw that happen. So I think they need to push together, and they need to push on their flashes. They kind of just randomly threw their flashes and pushed in without clearing everything. Obviously it still worked out for them. I think they still did a really great play overall that round, but little bits of improvement that they could have. We're now coming in on the next map, Factory, Tower Saga. It looks like this is a pretty interesting factory. It's smaller than some of the factories that we've been seeing, and it is kind of segmented off into 2 really distinct sides, which is really going to allow the attackers to dictate the range of engagement. They have the option of going into the conveyor side, which they've already X'd out. So we're probably not going to see much play there. They don't want to play there. And that makes sense. That's a really open area. There's not a lot of cover there. But if they wanted to take those long range fights, which in all reality they might actually want to do that because they have Saber, they know that Genesis has lost the mop. So I think I think that they could reasonably push that. But it's also reasonable for them not want to do that. A lot of the defender guns are generally better for long range. And so you got those Igmars, you got the Lagros. Obviously, a few of those were also lost, but just knowing that they exist, the Blacktar's a pretty decent gun, and even the AP can challenge at range. But a defender in the right position with an Igmar or Lagros or even a Gruber can really do some serious damage to a team at range, and they know that, so they want to avoid the long range. They want to take Pipeworks. Pipeworks is going to put them in a lot closer of an engagement range. They're really going to be able to use their flashbangs, push on their flashbangs. They might even be able to use a shotgun here, and that's really going to help them get into servers. They have the smoke here. They don't even want to expose themselves to the long angle. They can take servers, and they're really just going to try and keep this close range, tight. And I'm all for that. I think that shows that Pogfish is a team that knows they know what they're doing. They know what they're good at. They know that they do not do well in long range engagements. So they're going to be pushing in the close range. And I think that shows some real strength in the team. Again, like you're saying, they're really communicative. They've probably talked about this and established, hey, I don't want to push into conveyors. Conveyors is really long range and scary. I'm gonna get my head taken off by Legros. I'm gonna whiff my flashbang. It's too far to throw it. You know, really, they don't want to deal with that. So they want to push Fan. They want to push into Pipeworks. That's really where they're going to excel. They've got their APs. They can get those flashbangs off. Again, I think a shotgun, you can even send a shotgun down along the pipes, provided you have an AP covering him. And if he can get into servers, servers is yours. The defenders, they can't push into that. They're not going to be able to push into a DL. That's just going to be easy kills for the DL player. And, the defenders are going to be aware of that. The Barb placement coming down from Genesis definitely seems more like it's anticipating a conveyors play here. So again, even better for Pogfish to decide that they're not going to go conveyors. They're going to have to deal with 2 barbed wires here, whereas they're not going to deal with any on the pipework side. Really good play there. Genesis really going all in on this one position, and I don't think it's going to play out good for them. They're really just not going to be able to deal with that as well. And I think once Pogfish gets their sniper up on the pipeworks, that could be really strong. They're going to be really able to dominate that one kind of rotate route behind them. And if they can get a shotgun into servers holding the corner by the door, I think they've just locked down servers. They have someone defuse, and that's really going to be what they're going to do. It does look like we are waiting for one of the Genesis players to reconnect here. So they hopefully will be back shortly, and the game will get on. But really, I do think that Pogfish is coming up with a good plan to counter this. Fishy's asking me to notice him. I have noticed him. Fishy, good job on the plan. You're doing good. Tetra, anything else to say?
Well, seems like that one of the Genesis players are having some file errors, so they're currently validating them. Is what I've been told. Um, but I think you've said everything plan wise. You know.
Yeah, I do. I'm also, looking at this map. It's really different. I haven't had the time to play much in the past 2 weeks, and I think factory's really changing since then. This is a much smaller factory than what we're used to. And again, I
Yes.
think it really does allow for the attackers to choose whether they want to go long range or close range. And that means the defenders can also play a variety of guns rather than saving all the long guns for factory. Um, and I think that's really good. We have spots to barbed wire. Really, honestly, I think this map on paper looks pretty good. Obviously, I think there are other ways to do it, but generally, it would be nitpicking. Really, I think overall, as far as factories go, this one's pretty good. There's even somewhat reason to blow docks here. I don't think it's I don't think it's a better push. than the Conveyor's Red Door. I don't think it's gonna challenge Storefront's dominance as being that place where you wall charge, but I think it does have a place here. This is definitely a solid take. You can get into cover fast, and you can challenge even a door charge there. You're really just gonna dominate that line of sight, which is gonna probably be one of the main issues for line of sight for pushing this door. Obviously, I think behind the forklift is probably a bit more concerning, or even from servers. Those are areas you're gonna have to watch out for. But really, I think that blowing docks here does have a purpose. It doesn't always on a lot of maps, and so it's good to see some change in that. Now, toxic, toxic does have a purpose. It really is what divides the map in half and allows for this close quarters side to exist. I mean, I say close quarters. This is a sight line and a half, but it's got cover. You can challenge it. So, overall it's pretty good. But yeah, toxic is really just the green room. And you can play it, you cannot play it. This is actually the main thing that we're probably going to see it come down on this round is we might see a defender try and rotate through toxic to get the flank on the attackers, and if they're not careful, that could be devastating. Um, but they're going to have to choose to do it fast or quiet. If you do it fast, you're going to make a lot of noise on the catwalk, and they're going to know where you are. Obviously, you can wallbang these. The toxic walls don't even have any penetration value, so chances are, that's really not going to stop much bullets. An AP spray down there, especially if they hear them on this straightaway, that's just death. You can't avoid that. At least you can kind of run on the vertical sections, but on the horizontal section, I don't think that's going to go very well for any flanking defenders. Um, Tetra, how would you play this map? If you got this map, you were playing casual, you're chilling with the boys. How would you plan out an attack on this map?
Now, usually on this map, I blow conveyors, as you've got that line of sight on servers, and you can sort of stop any auto shotgun rotates from defenders or any sort of that business. Maybe I would have one of the boys going saber fan to try and hold that toxic sort of angle and trying to get a sort of a close angle here on this sort of area. But I genuinely I think that the conveyors red door is one of the best blows on this map, and it gives a lot of it is a lot of angles to deal with as an attacker, but it you've got the cover of conveyors here to sort of back yourself off if need be, and then or a very easy push to bomb. All you need to do now is just deal with any shotgun players that might be sitting in any corners.
Oh yeah, no, definitely that red door, couple flashbangs, a few well placed smoke grenades. You can take them by surprise and really push it. They're really gonna have to time their mollies well to stop that. And again, I think the best counter to that, like you were saying, is a shotgun player hiding in some corners, especially if they try and smoke themselves into servers and run through the smokes. A shotgun player in a smoke grenade is a threat, is very scary, and could be very powerful. But again, that requires a defender to choose to pick up a shotgun on factory. That's not always going to be the case. We've seen good shotgun plays on factory, but typically you don't see that. Typically they take shotgun for economy reasons, not to actually expect to do something. Um, but yeah, no, I think on this map a shotgun player could be a threat, especially if they call an attacker plan based around smoke grenades.
Yeah, having a shotgun and a smoke as a defender is a very scary thing to play against. It's not something you want to go against, especially if that is an auto shotgun as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Um, I think this choke point area in the middle of the map, I think that presents some really interesting gameplay. There is a sizable amount of cover on either side of it, and that's really the cross point. Generally speaking, attackers are either going to die in the entry or they're going to secure the entry room. And for this map, obviously they're not quite rooms, but effectively conveyors is one entry room, and pipeworks is the other. And so once you get that, obviously this cross is the cross between those two rooms. That's really going to be the no man's land. That's where you're going to have to try and control on this map. You know, I'm not sure whether or not POGFISH will be able to do that, or Genesis is going to be able to hold it properly. Um, But I definitely think that this is going to be a very interesting point of contention. I think Pogfish they don't want to deal with it. They're putting a smoke grenade there, and I think that's the best way to deal with it for an attacker. But if you didn't have smoke grenades, or your smoke carrier got killed and you forgot to grab his smoke or whatever, you're gonna have to deal with this crossfire. Um, and I guess you could just shoot better. You could just click on head. That's always an option. It always has been, and it probably always will be. But really, I think that these players they don't want to deal with it. I want to see how Jen handles it. We haven't seen much marks from them, but I think we could definitely see some players like someone playing in this pocket here with a long gun, or actually a Gruber. I think a Gruber in this corner right here is going to be a really good spot to play. That puts you in a great place to contest the cross and actually contest the conveyor's red door. So it'll be interesting to see if Jen plays something like that. I think that could be a really good spot. You're going to contest the cross, which again really seems like it's going to be an important part of the map in most games. Provided the smoke gets thrown down, I believe that's Dad with the smoke grenade claimed. Um, really, I think if he gets that smoke down, it's good, and Pogfish is able to take servers before it fades. Great job on them. They saw the map. They figured it out. Well done. Now, the other thing to be concerned about on this map is the servers. Servers is very CQC, especially for a factory. If we see an attacker team loaded up with mostly black tars, it's very scary. You put a KR in here, you put a shotgun in here, just pop around that corner, wait for them to throw the flash. Chances are, haven't really seen much of these teams play recently, so I don't know their flash placement for sure. And they do actually have a flash marked in the right spot. But if they're careless with their flashbangs, and Pogfish just throws a flashbang and it lands here, the person playing in this corner is gonna be fine. They're gonna pop out, peek around the corner, and probably do some damage, if not get some picks. Get time for their teammates in the conveyor side to rotate into the servers, and really really just be able to come in there and do some damage. Um, truly, I think that could be a good way to go about it. Um, but again, we'll have to see how Genesis wants to play this. Uh, yeah, it does look like we're getting close to fixing the technical error that has caused this delay. We do have a very nice SNARMS drawing. Yeah, SNARMS drawing. Um, Yeah. Tetra, anything left to be said about this?
I don't know. I think we've kind of squeezed this map quite dry, or at least you have. I don't think there's much else to say.
Yeah. I mean, it's Factory. Factory's got a pretty nice style to it. It's got some neat stuff. Oh, we do have in the bottom left, what's that? The southwest corner of the map, we have the Argus listening station that happens on some factory maps. Wonderful place if you need to go and hide and save equipment rather than pushing into the building. Argus listening post, top tier place to do it on most maps where it's there. It's wonderful. You got big giant hardcover all around you. I mean, even this one, technically it's in line of sight of the docks, but you could just hide from that, and it's great, and it's wonderful. Axum has put time. I believe it's Axum. It might have been Ben or even Sandwich, but this like mid-ground clusters and cover assets, I really think they've done a wonderful job on it, and it really just gives life to these maps. I mean, obviously, the cover work inside the map is way more important and way more relevant to gameplay, but the mid ground assets, I generally think they've done a good job. These are really pretty. I mean, I don't know how many other people have gone and read all of the brand names on the cargo containers, but there's variety, there's life in this world, and it's really felt through these art assets in the mid ground and the background. And really good job to the artists, really good job to the level makers. That they've really done a great thing. It does look like we have finally gotten the Genesis player back. So we should be seeing this great round that we've been talking about for how long now?
Uh, Maybe coming up to 6 minutes. I don't know. I wasn't really timing.
Ooh, good to know I could go that long. Making me lose my voice on round two.
Well,
Hmm.
we got a lot out of that round. We got plans and a sexy Snarm drawing.
I mean, definitely swole, pretty close to sexy, if not sexy. Although it does look like we have hit the gear up phase. We should be seeing the teams grabbing their gears. Again, I don't. We haven't seen much come out of Genesis here. This has been a really well, in-depth plan by POGFISH. Genesis, again, kind of lackluster with their bard placement. Um, from their markings, it does seem like they're really calling this conveyors play, which just isn't happening, and that's going to be very unfortunate for them. That's really going to allow POGFISH to probably near uncontested take servers, and that's going to be really hard for Genesis to deal with. I think this round is going POGFISH. Do you have any other predictions, Tetra?
I think this green barb on Toxic is quite a good one for this map. I personally have somehow randomly dinked people through the tarp. Just spraying through there, sort of one just forces people to back off, and you could get a bit of damage.
Sure.
But anyway, it does seem like they're all going fan. We've got a 5-push fan. They have blown it. H is pushing out. Reptile will be stuck in no man's land here, and he's taken out. Playboys with the tub on bomb. Centurion trying to just take out any damage he possibly can. Playboys, will he be able to do anything with this top hit? He's getting flashed out, concussed, not full blind though. Will he be able to take out Dad? Is he able to take out Dad? Centurio, Aisha taking him, sent out Centurio. We see, Brocus with a lovely crossfire onto Snarms there. And Foom doing the same onto Emethines. Fishy pushing up. He's still got the clacker on him. But he has just flashed out Playboys there. Playboys concussed. Will he be able to get a second kill here? He's pushing that. He's trying to get as much sort of take damage as possible. Brokilius is still at Doc. Playboy's taking out the second one. Is he able to get a third? Sadly not. Brokilius in a 1v2 situation here. Is he able to take out Foom? Will he be able to stop the defuse here? We'll see. She's trying to push up. 10% left, and Fishy is able to take him out. Fishy getting the 2k at the end of the round and getting that defuse off just about 90%. If Regulus could have got that off, that could have changed the tides of it.
You know, that round, I mean, it took so long, it felt like the whole game. But that round really, really was closer than I expected. Again, I think POGFISH is showing that they have a consistency of pushing one by one into these zones of crossfire, and they've really got to learn to stick together. They don't necessarily need to do this. Obviously, it's worked out for them, but it's come down to these close fights when I think they could have done it much better. Coming in and just sticking together. Even a small battle buddy system where you have your battle buddy and you're gonna push with that battle buddy. And again, I've said this before on stream, but the biggest advantage the attackers have is their health pool. They have a whole extra 250 health between them than the defenders. Even the fact that defender guns generally do more damage, you just got such an advantage on that. You stick together, suddenly you don't have a 50 health advantage against the defender. You have an 100 health advantage. That's huge. So you can just push in there and really do some damage if you have two guys with you. As long as the attackers, the amount of guns they have on target outnumbers the amount of guns the defenders have on targets, the defenders will lose. Almost all the time. Unless the attackers are truly whiffing, assuming aim skill is equal, it comes down to who has more guns on target. And the attackers should be able to force that situation because they're all coming together, whereas the defenders are generally spread out. And we don't see POGFISH really doing that much. They're pushing one at a time and taking these 1v1s, 1v2s when they really shouldn't be. If they can learn to do that, this team is going to be very scary. And like you're saying, they have good communication. So I don't think it's necessarily that they're not talking to each other. I just don't think they're thinking about it. And if they can think about it, they're really going to do well. I guess we haven't paused, so I should probably talk about this map. We're on Operation Dark Raven, a kill house map. It's pretty interesting. It's got this reception desk. You can only get it from the club. Club is bomb room, so that's going to be an interesting spot to hold. It does look like POGFISH is predicting some barbed wire there. POGFISH does want to wall charge into club. That could be very strong going through reception. It does look like Brocules is going to be their main opponent there, holding hallway by himself. If he can call the wall charge, that's going to be good for Genesis, but, you know, other than him managing to somehow get a 3K, I don't see this him turning the round around.
Well, they've brought the wall charge along with them. They're going to be blowing into club, it seems like. A very common play on this map. You either blow into reception here or blow into club. Looks like they're going for that club push. Fishy checking out if anyone's holding that reception area. Snub, I think, is going to go shotgun. Oh, no. He's holding the reception angle. Yeah, he's just flashing out hall. Trying to check if anyone's there before Fisher puts down the wall charge. Wall charge is set. Snarm's going to taking a bit of damage. And there goes the wall charge. They're pushing in. POGFISH are coming, flying. They don't see Playboy's there. Playboy's is full blind. And he's behind bar. He does get the molly off. Does block off Dad, but doesn't get a trade in. It is a 2v5 situation here. POGFISH are leading this round up very fast. Reptile unable to get a kill. Centreo is, with the auto, isn't able to take out anyone. POGFISH plays quite low though, but that is the round for POGFISH.
Really, I think this round shows that POGFISH can play. They can do this. We saw them push a lot more together than they were, and really that was because of the short length of the push. They were able to keep their organization, their team cohesion, and they were able to push together and just take club. You know, Genesis was flashed and wiped out before they had a chance to react. If you look at their health bars, damage was pretty evenly split among the full team, and that's what you want to see. You really want to cycle out the injured players for the fresh players when you have a chance. You got to get the damage spread around, because that's when you're going to win. And POGFISH did that really well. They did that really well here. We didn't see that do it amazingly in the previous rounds, but clearly they do know how to play attack. But do they know how to play defense? That's the question that we're going to see answered in the next 6 rounds. 3-0 lead for POGFISH. This is very good, but, you know, maybe they're an attack-focused team. Maybe Genesis is really going to pop off on these next 6 rounds on attack. We'll have to see. You know, I'm excited. This is where we can see the game turn around. A 3-0 lead seems big. It's not. That's 3 rounds. It's not insignificant. This is definitely something Genesis has to be concerned about. They really should be putting their full effort into turning it around, but I do think that this is something they can come back from. This is not POGFISH's game yet. They still have to fight for it. They still got another 4 rounds to win before it's their game. Of course, we're back on Operation Bison Fang, this wonderfully interesting little dome map. Obviously, we talked about it to great extent the last time we were here. But again, I think Castle is going to be of prime concern. We already see POGFISH dedicating 2 barbed wires to it, and another barb in pit. This barb a bit further up than what we saw last time, which makes me wonder if they're going to have someone playing in this back area of pit, maybe on the raised area. We do see some Genesis players marking pit, a little worried about it. Based on some of their marks, I would almost guess... Yes, it does look like Genesis is planning to just go full green on this one. This could be very interesting. They're saving charges. There's definitely some double charge potential, especially on that kill house map. So it'll be interesting to see where their plans go from here. Yeah, it does look like POGFISH is splitting up. They've got 2 players casual, 2 players jungle, and 1 player pit. This is a pretty good spread, and I think they can really make good plays of this.
I mean, yeah, so they've opened Castle door here. Trying to just get some angles from Dad with that Igma onto that red door if they go. But, like you said, I think Empathy is going to bait... Oh, no, he's going to gain info through the windows at Castle. They've kicked green, pushing up to the left side, trying to not to get seen from that Castle angle. Fishy here, creeping up though. Crouch walking his way up. Looking down, trying to not get seen. And there is the smoke coming out, blocking off one of the angles for Fishy. I think they're about to push that Castle angle. The flash coming out at Castle. Playboys going through that barb. Will they recognize Fishy there? I don't think they'll check him. Oh, they do check him, but it's the Saber. The Saber's dead. Playboys taking out Fishy. Fishy taking out Reptile, who was the sailor there. Foom trying to get a bit of chip damage on. Playboys also in the same situation. Broculus taking out Snarms, but Snarms take out Centrio. A base. Foom here, stuck behind this tree. There's nothing much he can do. His teammates just need to help him there. Enthazine taking out Aisha next to Log. Dad and Foom in the 2v3 situation. They've got this castle control. This could be deadly for POGFISH. Dad holding this water angle. He knows that they have to go through there. 2 of them at least. There is a flash onto Ruins, but they're pushing late. Foom gets taken out Enthazine, and it is a 1v3 situation. Dad taking some damage and is full dead. That is the round 2 Genesis. 3-1. And that was a lovely round from them. They played as a team there.
Yeah, really well played from Genesis. Again, you know, they stuck together, and that's why they're able to tank a lot of that damage and do stuff. You know, if that team, when we saw them entry into Castle, Fishy was able to get a pick on the Saber player there, and the only reason he wasn't able to do more damage is because he was playing close with a teammate. And their teammate was able to come in there, and Playboys was able to just take out Fishy. Really strong. I mean, again, really great play from Genesis. Just sticking together is really, really capable of turning it around in these games. And again, it's now 3-1. Genesis is proving they're still in this game.
Yeah, they showed like, well, yeah, the Fishy tried to get a cheeky play there, but I only was able to take out one, and that kind of messed up the round for POGFISH there, as he was all alone in Castle. Gave it up for them.
Yeah, no. Losing Castle there really hurt them. I feel like if they had another player Castle, especially one playing at least a distraction, if not like a pickup for Fishy, that could have been really strong. Just coming in there, able to really put fire on them, especially once the green play was called. And I don't even know if the green play was called, because Fishy was the one watching that. They could have had someone base. Their pit player could have rotated there. Obviously, there's a lot of things they could have done, but that's all hindsight. 3-1. You know, POGFISH has to make some decisions here to come back, and it looks like, you know, they've got 2 Barbs on servers. If I know anything about POGFISH players, is I'm thinking there's going to be at least 2 players in servers, probably rocking, one of them at least rocking a shotgun, another rocking some kind of close range SMG carbine thing. It does look like, though, Genesis, they're thinking about that Conveyors breach. Conveyors could be a really strong take here if they do it right. It's going to take a lot of organization and a lot of speed to do it. If POGFISH is able to sit there and counter it and get a Molotov down, that's going to be really strong. It does look like, yeah, it looks like we have 2 angle marks drawn on the ground from POGFISH in servers to hold each wire. This could be really well done. Yes, Genesis seem to be committing to the plan to hit that Conveyors door and maybe sending a team green to split. That's actually a really, really strong plan. If the green team can get in and take the southern Conveyors area, that's going to take a lot of pressure off of the north team, and I think they can make do with that, especially if they get their smokes in the right place. It's going to be really strong. Foom with the mop is going to be holding Conveyors. He could be put in a really bad spot here if they breach at the right time. It's really going to come down to Isha and Snarms, it looks like, playing in there. Dad may be playing in Toxic. That could be really strong.
We see a 2-3 split here. I think 2 going green, and 3 going to that Conveyors red. I think they've realized there's a nade there. I think they're going to there is a Bob there. They might nade that. I don't know. That's a really powerful Bob though for POGFISH there. So I think they are going to have to nade that. The breach comes out. Molly to protect themselves, but Foom goes down to Reptar. Foom the morph. That was their only sort of defensive gun and the one-shot capability. Emethine taking out Dad, and now Centurion is pushing through Storm. Storm's dead. Fishy with the tub. Is he able to do anything? He's able to take out 1. Is he able to get the 2nd? He is able to get the 2nd, maybe the 3rd. Aisha here holding as well. Fishy alone though. Is he able to do anything? All of the one of the Genesis players are sort of crowded together. The molly coming out to push Fishy. Fishy does get away, though. Aisha and Fishy holding this server area. Aisha's peeking. They've got power. Genesis have the power advantage. Will POGFISH be able to do anything? Fishy does have MVGs, though. We see them pushing up. They've got a smoke. That's it. Trying to get some warbangs onto Fishy. Unable to. They've got a smoke, and that's it. Aisha getting taken down by Brickless. Reptar slow peeking here. Centuro pushing him. Fishy able to get one. Is he able to get Is he able to get a fourth? I mean, sadly not. And that is the round to Genesis.
Fishy really carrying that round with a tub on Factory, no less. What a play from him. Really, Genesis was able to get in there and get some critical picks. Taking Foom out that early with the Saber really gave them an advantage. And then I think Dad and Snarms were just caught in bad spots. And I don't think they were ready for that push. I think they were expecting more of a Pipeworks push. Again, I think the split, I think that really helped them being able to pincer those teams. Because obviously the red team, they took a while to get in. They got mollied off. They had to deal with Fishy. But it was that South team. I don't know whether POGFISH should have held that more aggressively, done more chip damage. Obviously, it could be said that they died not being there, so being there would have been better, slow them down at least. But really, I think that was a good play from Genesis, and some small mistakes that ended up costing them for POGFISH. That Fishy was almost able to recover. If he had managed to hold that for 10 more seconds, very good. Because they were out of flashbangs, so really excellent play from both teams. Fishy in particular. Good job. But of course, we're back on Operation Dark Raven. Already seeing a wall charge and a door charge marked down from Genesis. They want to split. This could be strong. Obviously, we saw the split push from last time. It was really good. However, this split push is much more disconnected. It requires a lot of organization for the teams to push and engage at the same time. And if one of the teams is delayed or killed, the other team is not going to be able to pick up the slack. Obviously, one of these teams is going to be 1 or 2 players. The other team will be 3 or 4. Now, the team of 1 or 2 players is easy picking for defenders. If defenders push, and they push the weaker team, that could really wipe out this whole strategy. But that's a risk. That's a gamble. So we're going to have to see whether POGFISH is willing to take that risk, willing to gamble with it, and willing to just kind of put pressure on Genesis here as they attack, because that's what they're going to need to do to stop this play. They can't hunker down and club, because if they do that, the Genesis is going to coordinate their attack, and they're going to come from 2 angles at once. They won't be able to deal with that. You don't want 5 attackers coming into the same room, even if it's from 2 different spots, especially if it's from 2 different spots. Although it does look like POGFISH heavily playing down in the hallway kitchen. In fact, we see Snarms seems to be the only one playing in club. Snarms and I guess Foom by extension hiding in backstage are playing in club. The rest of them are playing in that hall. They could kill the wall charge team. Actually, yeah, it does look like the wall charge team is going to be the bigger team. Dad, in office, he could really try and hurt this office team if they're not careful. POGFISH might be in a good position.
Does seem like we've got a 2-3 split. I think they're going to bait out office with the door charge. Dad ready to molly that, but that is just, I think, going to be useless. Oh no, they are pushing in. 1 into office already. Dad left. Oh, Foom TKing Dad there. Okay, bit of a misplay. Whatever. Reptar here holding the hall angle. He's trying to just gain any sort of information he possibly can. The flash coming out at hall. And there goes the wall charge. Emethine pushing up. But they're already in club. Snarms stuck between 2 attackers. Fishy able to take out Emethine. And the attackers are back where they started off. In reception. You've got 2 in club though. Playboys and Centuro. Taking out Playboys on a killing spree. It is a 1v3 situation again. Fishy in this situation. Is he able to do anything with the shotgun? He's trying to spray. They know he's there, and there is it. There it is. Burger's taking out Fishy. Lovely warbang there. Wonderful
Again,
warbang.
really doing some damage, but just not able to take it there. His team getting caught out of position, and honestly, I think they played a little passively, and that ended up costing them with Genesis's aggressive attack. I think Fishy made a decision. He took a risk. He was going to wallbang onto stage to try and clear that, and ended up not helping him out, giving away his position, and costing him his life for that round. Again, this is with hindsight. If he had pushed, I think he would have done better there. All the Genesis players were pretty well hurt. He could have, and they were playing pretty tightly together. So if he was able to get close and get in there without taking much damage, I think he could have taken that round. Obviously, that's with hindsight, and that's assuming a lot of things. But obviously, I don't think shooting was the right play. Of course, we're coming into new maps here. Let's see how Genesis handles playing on maps they haven't seen before. Obviously, we'll see this from POGFISH as well, but from different sides here. Coming in, Operation Sacred Rider. We do have a storefront here, but this storefront is rather defensible. There is a sizable amount of cover in it, and there's a lot of places looking into it. Obviously, the Tellers is going to be very strong to counter the anything diffusing. Teller's window, really good for shooting into the common wall charge spot, which is the double doors. Arcade, good for suppressing that. Teller's hole also good for suppressing anyone coming out of arcade. Obviously, another red door there. Now, does look like Genesis is planning to wall charge into Tellers. This wall charge is actually certainly possible. You can do it. However, it will cause you a little bit of trouble. You will have to sneak past this table. You have to crouch jump through it. It's possible, but it's not great. If we do see a POGFISH player playing in Tellers, they might be able to counter it. They might even be able to hit the button and rotate behind them. Genesis does seem to be aware of it. The wall charge might even be trying to bait them into doing so. So we'll have to see how it goes here. But I do think that POGFISH could set up this fence. They are dedicating 3 wire to it. Of course, one of that wire's on green. If we do see Fishy, as he has that wire mark placed down, playing in office, or even playing in freezer to come from the side, he could do some damage. Again, we've seen him in the previous rounds. He's really been the defensive player on this team. If anything, we did see some weakness in POGFISH's attack, but I think their greatest weakness seems to be that Fishy is the rock that is their defense, and he's alone. There's not a lot supporting him. I'm not sure if this is a bad day for his team, but Fishy really needs to either step it up and fully carry his team, or his team needs to give him a little bit of help.
Yeah, Fishy is just great on defenses. Anyway, they've shotgun and naded the barb that was stopping them from pushing green. They are just about to put down the wall charge. I think Centurion is about to... Did he put on the wrong wall?
Nope.
Are we alright?
Wall.
We're fine. Okay, they've learned to tell us. They are finding difficulty with this. Foom, though, with the auto, he's able to take out 1. Is he able to get a second? He's flashed. Is he able to get out of the Tellers? He is able to get out of Tellers. Aisha pushing in. Playboy take him out, but is traded. Snarms not able to do much. Is getting taken out by Reptar. Fishy, Dad, and Foom all in just one sort of general location. They're going to have to try and push. Genesis is going to try and have to push through this brick wall that the POGFISH have set up here. Fishy, though, holding this rotate into arcade if Genesis do anything funny. I think they're deciding on whether to not push. They're pushing to freezer. Actually, they're giving up with their war charge play. Oh, never mind. They were baiting Dad out there. They've got their telecontrol now. And Fishy trying to kill the person in office isn't able to. Reptile taking him out. Broker's taking out Dad, and Foom left in the 1v3 situation. Again with a shotgun. Gosh. POGFISH love their 1v3 and shotguns, it looks like. The defuse coming out. Oh, Foom able to get 2 low Genesis players. Foom has the HP advantage here. Reptile, though, with the long-range gun. This could be close. Foom, 4 bullets in. Oh, the smoke coming out, though. Foom can just play to that. Doesn't seem like he will, though. He's going to be playing back. He has 4 bullets. He's got to be
aggressive here.
He has to push up. Reptar knows he has to push up. He's playing off this teleposition. Is he able to get it? And he is able to get it. Foom with the 1v3 clutch with the auto. 4 bullets left. Well played to him. That leaves it 4-3 to POGFISH.
This is where we really needed to see POGFISH playing in the earlier rounds. And now they're here. They're doing well. This was a great play. Obviously, Foom, 4K with the 3K clutch at the end. Beautiful. I would say the smoke grenade was probably a mistake on Genesis's part there. But wow, that round, really a tug of war between those teams. And in the end, POGFISH will reign supreme. That was a really fun one to watch. I think that has been the highlight of the game so far. I don't know about you, but that's my highlight. Of course, now we're coming in on Operation Prometheus Noble, another dome map. It'll be interesting to see how POGFISH wants to defend this one. They won the last round, but at a heavy cost. So their economy's not doing great. Now, of course, Genesis has lost the wall charge. They've lost a clacker. This is pretty big for them. I would not be surprised if we see them try and take Beach here. Of course, they are still down. It does look like they want to take Beach. They are down a point, so taking Beach here, it does seem risky. They could try and force a red. Obviously, that's risking losing a charge, but if they're able to win, they're going to be able to charge the next round. They'll have tied up the game, and POGFISH's economy situation will be pretty poor. But of course, we won't know for sure. Now, if they win green, that's going to be great. They're definitely going to be able to charge. Even if they lose, they can definitely charge. But of course, green is going to be a harder play. It's, of course, Beach. Beach is generally a hard push if you have defenders playing against it. I don't know if POGFISH is generally going to be playing against it. It does look like they only have one barb, and they've already identified the mistake that you can jump around those corner bits, despite it somewhat looking like you can't. So, again, I think POGFISH is really going to have to play for base, play for pit. Playing observation, that could be very strong for them. It's going to give them eyes onto Beach, and it's going to give them a pretty good peek onto Beach, too. So I think that's really where we're going to want to see some POGFISH players playing, and doesn't look like we're seeing them come in. Although POGFISH definitely has a thing for doing these late spawns. We've seen this a couple times on Defenders, where one or two of the players come in late. There we go. We see Fishy spawning up in observation with Allegros. He has the potential to do a lot of damage with that gun from there, if he's able to get back in time.
Yeah, we see what looks to be a all-5 green pusher. It does seem like they're shift walking, although Beach is definitely far enough that no one in observation can hear them. The smoke coming out to block any sort of line of sight on that Beach push. Not the best smoke, though, but hopefully we'll see it coming east with that jungle hold. Foom with the morp. I don't know if he'll be able to take anyone out on that beach area. He knows that they've kicked, but is he able to do anything? Reptar, with that saber is in that position as well, quite strong. I think Fishy getting a late barb down, stopping that obs rotation if possible. Aisha trying to get some damage actually onto one of the Genesis players. We'll see what if that will change the outcome of the round. Boom, actually waiting for the Genesis player to sort of push by before he takes any morph shots. POGFISH playing quite passive here, as well as Genesis. They're not really pushing up. They have a minute left. They're gonna have to play this quite fast. Playboys and Centurio pushing up. And they've taken that obs control by turning off that power. Dad's getting taken out. Fishy, though, super shorty, actually. Is he able to get one? He isn't. Playboy to take him out. Snarms behind bomb, and Foom. Oh, but power's going back on. And Foom takes that one. Aisha, full blind there from a lovely flash from Genesis. Foom able to deal some damage to Entzine. Snarms. Foom, Aisha in a 3v4 situation. I think they do have the HP advantage, though. Genesis pushing up to Aisha here. Aisha able to take out Playboys, and oh my gosh, Storm's able to take out one. Aisha able to take out two. Reptar in a 1v3 situation now, able to take out Foom with that lovely morp shot, and he's gonna save the morp there, the saber there, and save it for the next round. Wonderful play there.
Really good play there. I think both teams have, defenders. If you're playing passive, you better hope that the other team's playing passive. It really is in this game a tug of war almost, where if you decide a strategy, the counter to that strategy is to choose the same one. If the attackers are going to be passive, defenders should also be play passive. A passive attacking team wants defenders to push them so that they can shoot them as they push. But that's costing them time. If both teams are just sitting there in that tug of war like we saw there, it's eating away at the time, and that's going to cost them the round. It's going to get down to low time. Attackers are going to have to push into passive defenders, and get gunned down. Um, and they're gonna make mistakes because of that time error, or they're gonna make mistakes because of the low time. And I think we saw that there. They pushed and they were pretty much wiped out. But then we saw as the round ended, we saw the defenders get aggressive, and that ended up costing them some gear that they probably didn't need to lose. Yes, it was in an attempt to stop the saving of the saber, but they ended up losing it and not even stopping the save of the saber. So really, what you want to do is, if a team's being aggressive on attack, be aggressive on defense. If a team's being passive on attack, you got to be passive on defense. You really got to match that. That seems to be the way to counterbalance this. Um, it does seem like we're coming in on Operation Junolock, a factory map. Um, this map is definitely one of the interesting ones. It's one of the more new ones. Obviously, I don't think it's like the one we saw in the first half. I enjoyed the one we saw in the first half, where it was really split up and segmented. This one is more of the standard factories we've been seeing. We have a massive wide open area with bomb in the middle, um, overlooked by office and silos and pipeworks and docks. Docks, of course, is really just an extension of the wide open area because cover doesn't exist on docks. Some reason. It might as well just be the wide open area. Um, but of course, we also have Server Farm. Server Farm is a new room that we've seen the level makers experiment with, and it's kind of this two-floor servers. And I think that's interesting. It provides some interesting gameplay. It's got the skeletonized sidings rather than the full-plated ones like you see on silos, which is good because the full-plated ones are not fun to play with. So I think on this map we're going to see some good stuff. We obviously see Genesis. They're coming in. They're going to blow that fan. That's going to be a really fast rush. Although Fishy playing there, he's going to be ready to try and stop it. He's got an Igmar. He's going to be able to do some damage.
Yeah, this that's an avid watcher of the Gex streams. This one was made on stream, so maybe watching Gex streams gives some sort of advantage in planning here. But it does seem like we have a 3-2 split, silos and fan. Oh, sorry, 3 going silos and 2 going fan now. Reptar, he's been deadly on the saber the entire game. We'll see if he can do anything here. They're pushing out on silos, able to get flashed off. Oh, but Centrario getting some damage off. Taking some damage from Snarms there. They've got 2 flashes and a nade silos. I don't know if they're able to do anything. Fishy getting taken out by Broculus. Boom. Dealing some damage back, actually, though. Aisha with the auto, waiting for someone to come around that corner and just take them out. Playboy is able to take out Snarms. And Aisha tries to take out Playboys with that snipe with the auto. Dad and Foom left in the 2v5 situation. Dad's sort of in the open there. Foom with a little bit more of defensive truck play. We'll see Dad trying to maybe go for a rotate. Foom, the only one that has bomb line of sight right now, is taking the damage. He will have to stop this defuse. He is able to do it, but gets taken out in the process. And that is the round to Genesis. 5-4. POGFISH.
Obviously, after that first half we saw, it looked very much like this was POGFISH's game. But again, we've seen Genesis. They've put it into a really strong position for themselves. Now, of course, we're seeing POGFISH get put back on attack, and that's where we know they're strong. That's where we know Genesis was having issues. So as long as the team morales are the same as they were in that first half, I think, I'm thinking we might see POGFISH take this game as Genesis hasn't increased their defensive prowess.
Yeah, it seems like the POGFISH right now, they have the point advantage, but I think they also have that sort of outplayability advantage. They sort of know Genesis they sort of read them like a book at this point.
Yeah, they've been doing really well on that. They've seen how they've attacked, and they've been able to go around the defenses all in that first set. So we'll see coming on this last set. They just need to take 2 rounds. I think the Dome and the C Store are the rounds to do it on. Obviously, that's the rounds they won on defense. But I don't think that is it's going to say anything about how defensible these maps are. I think Genesis made some critical errors there and POGFISH took advantage of it. Obviously, the Seesaw round really came down to Foom. Foom able to get that 3K. Beautiful. Yes, it does seem like POGFISH might be planning to wall charge into Storefront, the classic play. They've got some frags set up, ready to take out the potential barb. And honestly, even if it looks like right now that Genesis isn't planning to barb off this, which I'm not sure is going to be the right play, especially if Pogfish walls. That frag is going to be able to really hurt anyone hiding back there, which you're going to want to do. That's going to be a hard place to contest. Otherwise, obviously, we're seeing flashbangs already planning to be sent back there as well. So really, I think Pogfish is planning this out well. We do see the wall charge come out onto that storefront. Um, Again, I know a lot of people will charge the double doors because it's hard to molly those and you can get through it and you're not necessarily show pointed as much. But I feel like on this map, it still might be even better to try and wall somewhere else, somewhere to cut down the amount of angles on you just because of the amount of cover in here. And I think because we've seen a lot of these players are not used to storefronts with this much cover. These are kind of a new phenomenon that have come back from earlier days. These players are just used to charging double doors because it's always the best, because it's not like it's funneling you into anything. But of course now it is, so it's going to be interesting to see how these players react to it.
But yeah, uh, the you know the almost unoriginal wall charge play. Most C stores get wall charge shares. It's the best in the situation. Fishy pushing very aggressively in and does take out Emerson. Snarm's taking out Brookless. And we got two Genesis players in bathroom. This could lead to some stat kills potentially. Playboy's still with that teller advantage, able to give off some information to teammates hopefully. Does get pushed by Fishy though. Fishy playing very aggressive this round. Centurion pushing and Reptar. Oh my gosh, that was a fast round. Whew. Fishy played so aggressively there. That sort of won the round for them.
Yeah, no. Genesis had no time to react to that. Again, like I was saying earlier, you got to be aggressive to counter an aggressive attack. And when the attack is so aggressive that they're in the bomb room immediately, it is extremely hard to counter that. And really, Genesis did themselves no favor. They could have segmented it off with barbed wire. They could have pushed on those flanks, and they didn't. Obviously, they tried to hold Arcade, and it didn't go well for them. They could have done a lot more here to try and torn the storefront into 2 different rooms and really allow for those aggressive plays to work. But unfortunately, they were just unable to do that.
Yeah, with that sort of aggressive attack, Genesis just don't know how to deal with it. I think that's how Pogfish are going to be able to win this match.
Yeah, no, I do think we're seeing Pogfish putting themselves in a really strong position right here. They're now at 6-4. They've secured the tie, so really they just need to win this next round to get themselves a point, and they're very close to that. So coming back in, we're on Operation Prometheus Noble. Obviously this is the same dome map we saw, but now we're going to see it from a whole new perspective as Pogfish plans their attack, and they don't have to worry about using a charge. Obviously, if they win the round, or they win the game, so they want to win here. So we're probably going to see a charge used. And they have saved the clacker, so even if they lose here, they're still going to be in a decent spot to try and win on the next round. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. It does look like they want to send 2 to beach, 3 to jungle. That's going to be a really strong split because the jungle team is going to be able to put themselves in a good position where they're just going to be able to kind of suppress and help assault the beach from one side as the beach team pushes up. Obviously, observation is still going to be a major threat to the beach push, and even to some extent a threat to the jungle push. But the jungle push provides so much cover. It allows you to hide in this pocket and really just watch. And I think that's what we're going to see POGFISH do up until the base team is able to clear, and then they're going to probably make a push. Hopefully, we won't see the just passive sit and wait game that we saw last time, and we'll see a bit more of a fast and hard push, which we know POGFISH can really pull off when they're working together, and Genesis has a hard time stopping.
Yeah, Genesis have just been flopping to these fast, just quick pushes. We saw it on the first set kill house and then just on C-Store. But it looks like they've set the charge onto that red door. They've blown it. Got a 2-3 split. Jungle and beach. Snarms and Dab making their way over. Not bringing any long-range guns, though, to beach. Bringing APs their way. Seems like the Genesis players are just gaining as much information as possible from that observation. Playboys and Centrero just in there, just watching sort of every angle they possibly can through the monitors. We've got Snarms chucking a poor smoke, that looks like, onto observation. Finally, the jungle team get in. Fishy throwing that flash out. A morph shot does connect, I think, onto Aisha. Got Reptar with the morph up top. Is he able to do anything but hit one? Aisha getting taken out. That low HP player is now gone. Fishy taking out Ensign. Centrero taking out Dad with the trade. They haven't got any flashes left. They've just used their final flash. They might be able to pick one up of a dead person. Broculus taking out Snarms. He's behind bomb. They will be able to clear him here. And they're starting defusing. They're going to have to hold this observation. Foom. Xtech got one. Is he able to get the second? He's hiding behind cover here. Playboys versus Foom in the 1v1 situation. Playboys, though, has a molly. Is he able to get bomb, though? Is Foom able to defuse from that? He isn't. He does see him through the grass, though. He's pushing up. He's able to get up top on Ruins. That is a much better position for Playboys there. Able to get that high ground advantage. Able to see over the grass and onto bomb. Foom, though, able to get the defuse off, and that's the match win for POGFISH. Well played to both teams. Great first match.
Really great first match. POGFISH really dominant in that first set, really dominant in that second set. They are truly an attack-focused team, or at least able to really counter Genesis' defense. Genesis, also pretty good on attack. Definitely able to challenge POGFISH's defense. But of course, I think POGFISH's defense, when it works well, is a very strong defense. Obviously, Foom and Fishy, I think, were really the ones playing defense very well and able to win those rounds. I would like to see POGFISH later, especially if they get into DPL going through these promotion matches. I would like to see them really focus their defense, and I think they can become a very strong team and a contender to really challenge a lot of these DPL teams that we see now, because they are very attack focused, and clearly there is a good groundwork for a good defense there. They just really need to spread that out across the team and not just have it focused in a few players who get lucky here and there.
Yeah, exactly. I think POGFISH could do a lot better than some teams right now in DPL. I think that if they just work on a couple more things, then they obviously could go far in DPL, I think.
Yeah, for sure. It does seem like we're going to come into a little 5-minute break, get the teams reestablished, figure it all out. Obviously Playboys got to give that locker room speech to his team, got to get them back into the match. Fishy and POGFISH, they're going to be celebrating, they're cheering, they're probably already in Twitch chat. We'll be right back in 5 minutes with the second game. Welcome back, everyone. We're here for game 2 of God. We're here for game 2 of POGFISH versus Genesis. I'm joined by my co-caster Tetra,
Afternoon,
and
everyone.
we're going to be going in and hopefully seeing a really good game. We saw a really good game that first round, both teams in a tug of war for those points. Ending up, we see POGFISH coming in, taking the win. Will they be able to get the second one and move on to the next round of this tournament and face Frisky Fraggers next weekend? I'm excited to see it. Genesis, really, they got to come back. They've got to prove themselves ready for this. They suffered some defeats there at the hands of POGFISH, and we're expecting to see POGFISH kind of come in and, will they be able to do that again? What's your take, Tetra?
I think Genesis could probably just outplay POGFISH in almost all situations if they just, were able to stop these quick pushes that POGFISH are doing. If they're just able to win these pushes that POGFISH are doing, then that's all they need to do. I think that planning's fine.
Oh yeah, no, we definitely seen on attack. Genesis is a very scary force. They're able to coordinate some excellent plays, and it's really hard to stop them. It's come down to some clutch plays, and the timer's running out. That's really been what we've seen have stopped Genesis attacks. So
Yeah,
clearly,
they've done a lot of sitting around in most situations. We've had C stores where they've just been there for a while and not been pushing.
we definitely can expect to see um, another good game here. But I don't know. Is it going to come down to who gets attacked first? Because it almost feels like that's what it came down to here.
Let's hope it doesn't go down to that. Um,
Uh,
but if we see Gen pull some defenses, then I think they might win a match here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's going to come down to if Genesis can win a defense. I don't know, but we've definitely seen Pogfish. They've warmed up on defense. Their teams definitely, from that first defensive round to that last defensive round, we absolutely have seen an increase in their prowess. Um, I think that I think we could really see Pogfish come in and take this a lot faster. Genesis, of course, they've lost. That's a morale hit. If it hasn't come back, their attacks still might not be as strong, and that really, really might cause them to suffer.
Oh yeah, we saw some just very very minor mistakes coming out from Genesis, like stacking in rooms and just sort of not playing off barbs and stuff like that. And if they can just fix that up in this game, then hopefully we'll see them come out victorious.
Absolutely, and I'm really excited to see how this game goes because I think it could go either way. We could end up seeing a game 3 here.
I would like to see it go down to a game three. To be honest, a Pogfish Genesis game three, maybe go to overtime even. I think that'd be quite fun.
Absolutely, that could definitely be interesting. It looks like the teams are still getting ready a little bit, but we should be in game shortly. Um, do you have any like predictions? How do you think this game's gonna play out?
Like I said, I think it's all on how Gen defend. If they if they're able to get some defenses off and maybe pull one or two rounds out of the hat, then they might have it. But it's all up to you know whether they can actually defend well or if they're just gonna get pushed by Fishy and get shotgunned.
Yeah. No, I think it's really going to come down to these defensive rounds for both teams. Obviously, I think starting off with attack, getting that strong start really helped Pogfish in a lot of ways. Um, but certainly, their ability to their ability to actually win a few defense rounds was what really won them that game. Uh, you can only tie if you only win your attack rounds. And even then, you have to win all of them. So again, attacking may, according to some people, be the stronger position, and I think statistically it is. I think there's definitely a lot of advantages the attackers have that players know how to use to their advantage. But I think the defenders have an ability to win rounds. I don't think we've seen teams that are 100% focused on defense, but certainly there are teams out there that are better at it. And those teams tend to do well because they can defend well. Any team can attack well. But it really the sign of a good team is one that can defend well. I don't know how you feel about that situation, but
But yeah,
that's
attack is probably the easiest of the two sides. It's just chuck a couple of flashbangs and you're done.
yeah.
You know, getting good at defense though is there's a lot of different. There's a lot more guns. It's not just three guns or four guns on defense. Got a bunch of different weapons that all have different play styles, and you just have to get used to them one by one and stuff like that.
For sure. Hopefully, we'll see a good game coming up here, and I really think we have the potential for that. Genesis really showed that they're a strong team, and I think Pogfish can too. But it's really going to come down to their defense. The teams still seem to be getting ready for the round, but again, hopefully within the next few minutes we'll be in game and we'll be seeing just how good the match is. Uh, I do think Pogfish has a very good chance of taking this. We saw them perform really well in that last game. So I think my vote here is Pogfish. They're going to take it. They're going to put it into second game. Although it is entirely possible that Genesis is able to take it, which would be really great for them. We're going to see it go to game three, and at that point, it's an endurance match. Who can sit here and play the game for the longest? Who's going to be able to do that without getting tired? And I don't know. I know that Pogfish is made up of a lot of longtime players. Fishy, he's probably one of the longest time players right now playing today. Genesis is relatively new. Um, Now, this doesn't necessarily mean anything for endurance, but I think having that experience with the game certainly helps you play it for longer periods.
Yeah, because all the sort of ins and outs and obviously you being the elder of this community, um, you've got a lot of just weird, sneaky things that most new players don't know, and so having that old knowledge might come in handy in new gameplay. Who knows?
Yeah, that is something that I think a lot of people take for granted. Is that while there's not map knowledge per se, there is absolutely um, knowledge of how the game works and how maps are made. Because you'll see things, you'll see trends, and then they'll go away. But by the time you've learned how to play those trends and you feel good, and maybe a few months later, one of the map makers decides to throw one or two of those trends back into it, and suddenly you know how to play it. New players who didn't experience, or old players who forgot about it, or they're at a disadvantage. And I think that's something that is taken for granted, and is something that's so great about this game. Is you do have this constantly shifting stuff. And I mean, even if you haven't seen it before, if you've played a lot of Due Process, things kind of click together and you're able to pick up on it. It's not map knowledge. I don't know that this is an OP corner to sit in when I see a map, but I can identify that that corner is probably strong and it's probably going to work with this other feature of the map and really create some interesting gameplay. And that's something that you don't get in other games. You just learn the map, which is boring. I'd rather kind of learn how the game works. And that's part of the reason why I really enjoy Due Process. Yes, we are in game now.
Yeah. So while we were talking about old games they've already got started playing. Asia already with a beautiful nade taking out that Genesis member. They've got power control already. Like Playboy's up ruins. This is going to be an easy flash to get him out. To flush him out that area. If only they've got one flash between them, they might have to save that for Pit. Dad kicking that Pit door. Able to get that off actually. Foom using his some very good knowledge to actually parkour up to the top. We do see Foom alone in Castle, but he's cleared it. He will have to come up against an he's not. He's going around to his team. He's playing with his team. You've got Playboys holding them off from going Pit. Snarms picked up this morp. They just need to push him. They can't let him stay there. And Dad getting taken out by empty. Playboy's taking out Snarms. That is the morp down. The Saber able to trade though. It is a 3v3 situation. Sorry, 3v2 situation. Fishy getting taken down. Asia able to take out Emzine. 2v2 situation here. They've got this bomb control though. Centurio taking out Foom. Asia 2v1. Knows where one is. Does he know where the second is? He doesn't know where the second is. Able to take out one. He is 9 HP. He has to play this. He's got not got enough time. That is the round for Genesis with the 9 HP clutch. But the Saber save. Saber for POGFISH saved. So we are completely fine. They've saved the Saber.
Rough start for POGFISH. We've seen them from last game. They really require these attacker wins, and giving Gen a defender win is going to hamper them, assuming the game plays out in a similar manner to what we saw last time. Again, I think we saw POGFISH just playing a little too passive there. They had some defenders cornered, and they weren't dedicating to it. Obviously, they had the player up on ruins. He was kind of stuck up there because he couldn't push them, but he was in a really defensible spot himself, and they put a lot of flashbangs into him that they needed for that last room. I think the choice should have been either ignore him and have someone ready to kill him as he pushes out, or push him all together. But they were pushing him one at a time, and he was getting chip damage off, which ended up really helping in that final push, where again we saw two passive teams. The attackers can't afford to be passive, so when the attackers pushed in, they were all hurt. They were low on time. They did it one at a time, and that cost them. They need to push together, and they're not doing that. And that's costing them. Obviously, they were able to get away with it in that first game, but here, Genesis was able to punish them for it. We're, of course, now on C-Store. Operation Claw Oracle. This map, it's similar to the other C-Store we saw. It is fairly defensible. You do have a lot of cover, and you are kind of able to break it up into two separate rooms to defend if you want to, if you dedicate, and you should want to, because obviously one of them's bomb room, and we see the wall charge down on the storefront. This is the play they're gonna go with, and it's expected. We do see the wires down, but we see a frag grenade already moved on top of one of the wires. POGFISH just sees the map and understands how to play around what Genesis is doing, because Genesis is doing basically a standard play here to counter the standard play. The issue is the standard play will not counter the standard play unless Genesis can win the gunfights. We already see Fishy claiming the first flash into arcade, so we can assume Fishy's going to be taking arcade. If they aren't able to hold him, Fishy could get into office and get around while the rest of his team is able to contest fridges and freezer. And if they're able to get bomb control while Fishy and I assume Isha are on the flank, it's over for Genesis.
Seems like Fishy's going alone to that storage position where they're slow walking actually up to that storefront area, gonna blow that open on that very defaulty double door there. Fishy just opening up those green doors, trying to bait anything out, and there goes the wall charge. Playboys alone in Teller once again with the auto though. Centurio, is he able to take out one? He isn't. Aisha able to save Fishy there in that situation. Fishy opening the red door so he can escape if there's any mollies that come his way. Reptar and Brocus again. They're stacking in sort of irrelevant areas. Brocious emptying actually getting taken out by Snarms. Playboys has to play well here. He has to stop this bomb if he's able to take out Aisha there. Lovely play there. But Fishy's on the other side of the map. They haven't got a shotgun ready for this Teller. Reptar pushing Fishy here. Is he able to do anything? Playboy's just peeking, trying to do any damage. He takes out Foom. Reptar able to take out Dads. It is a 2v2 situation here. Fishy needs to get out to Teller fast and shotgun open that door so then they can gain that Teller control. Snarms take out Reptar. Playboys is pushed out finally. He is able to take out Fishy and able to take out Snarms. That's the round 4. Genesis Playboys with the 4K in the end. Well played to Playboys there.
That round, it looked really good for POGFISH at the start there, but unfortunately we just saw, Fishy was just kind of holding an arcade the whole time. The call should have been made for him to rotate, and it either wasn't made or he didn't rotate. Obviously, yes, he was covering that flank, and with our overview, we know there wasn't anyone challenging that flank, but that Tellers was just costing them so much. I know that there was a frag mark somewhere. I don't remember a frag going off. I don't know if that was recovered by the defenders or not. But you could have put a frag in that Tellers. You could have at least flashed the Tellers. Just something. But in the end, they were just able to get, kind of cordoned off in 1v1s, and the defenders were able to take that. This is looking really good for Genesis. POGFISH now really hurting on gear and probably morale, because that was a really good clutch from Genesis there. Well done to Playboys. Again, Fishy needed to be with his team. It's all fine and good if he's going to go off on the side, but someone needs to make a call. Hey, we need to get Tellers open. Where's our shotgun? And Fishy needs to realize that's him. And I don't know which part of that equation didn't happen, but it needs to happen in order for POGFISH to have won that round. We do see POGFISH wanting to kind of charge into Fan here. Definitely interesting play. It's gonna give them a lot of bomb control. They're gonna be able to try and contest office a little bit and kind of control the conveyors. Now it is going to be a risk because servers does have a line of sight onto it, so it will be interesting to see. Will they send someone servers? Will they try and contest the windows? I don't even know if that's going to be necessary based on the barbs that Genesis is placing. I don't think they're going to play anyone in servers. If they were, I'd kind of expect to see barbs more placed around here or here. Just kind of so they can play up on that, play in this pocket, use these windows to try and counter the fan push. If anything, I'm thinking Genesis might be expecting an office server split, and they might not be watching the fan. This could be really good for POGFISH. If they're able to take this and take Genesis by surprise, I think we could see POGFISH get around, and that's going to be really good for them going into these 6 defensive sets in a row. It's going to at least guarantee that they'll still be able to win when they get back on attack.
Yeah, I think as that's drawn, defenders can actually look out this window and look onto this fan area and get some shots off. But it doesn't seem like any of the Playboys players know that. It does seem like they're going to be pushing this office area, doing a 3-2 split fan office, trying to sort of just sandwich the map and try and push all the Genesis players, you know, into the open where Fan can get to them. The office door charge comes out, Molly to stop that push. They've got 2 more Mollies to throw that office door. We'll see what happens. Fan getting blown. Boom's rotated off with the clacker. He's coming back to office here. They've re-mollied that office. And a third molly's coming out. They've used all their mollies on that office area. And a lovely smoke there from Foom. So allowing the fan players to push in. Aisha, I think, going for power here. Dad taking out Broculus, but Playboy's taking out Snarm, trading there. Oh, but Dad... oh, okay, Reptile is completely oblivious, and Dad almost whiffs there. Playboy's playing under those stairs. Sentry taking... sorry, Sentry not taking out him. Fishy taking out Emzine, though. Boom, pushing up. Playboy's not able to stop Boom from that push there. And Playboy's left in the open. He's not dead, though. How is he still alive here? He's still got a mag left. They're gonna have to hold this bomb. If they allow Playboys to do this, then that's awful. Playboy's pushing up, but there's Fishy with the saber taking him out. Wonderful round there from both sides, actually.
Both sides playing that really well. Just able to, really, I mean, POGFISH able to just split Genesis' tension. That late fan was really able to just come in and really throw a wrench into all of Genesis' plans. They dedicated all of their resources to that office, and it ended up costing them. We'll have to see, though, whether POGFISH is going to be able to keep up this momentum. They're coming into the defense rounds where, you know, we obviously didn't see them do so well in that first game, but now, you know, we saw Genesis. They didn't win a single defense in that first game. Now they're coming in. They have 2 defense wins on their belt, so maybe POGFISH will be able to do the same. We're, of course, back on Operation Rushing Havoc, the first map of the game. We really didn't get to take a good look at this as we kind of got in here a little late, but it definitely has some interesting challenges to it. We, of course, have the castle. This castle is a nice little castle. It's going to be able to contest the beach. It's going to be able to contest the, West Red. That's going to be in ruins over there, and really watches over all of jungle. Of course, it has its own red, but you know you can play around that. There's a lot of angles onto it, and you can run out through the green door across the bridge and really watch that red door. Now, I think the castle is going to be the place not to charge, and I don't even necessarily know about the ruins. In fact, I believe POGFISH went full green, and Genesis is doing the same thing. It really just doesn't seem worthwhile to use a charge because both the reds are so defensible here. And beach, once you get off of the beach and you get onto the base, there's just so much open area with so many angles that you're almost certain to lose a player, get some chip damage, and really cause trouble for the attackers. The defenders are really going to be able to hold. They need to hold jungle with long guns, and then they probably want to hold close to medium and pit. And if they can pull that off, they're going to be looking really good, and I think POGFISH is the team to do it. We see Fishy with the mop, and Foom supporting him in castle. Aisha playing in jungle, Dad also in jungle, probably going to hop on the ruins, and Starms playing the anchor, playing in pit with the KR, sitting dangerously close to the pit. Almost looks like he's floating over it.
Yeah, it does seem, yeah, with the full green play. This castle, though, I think, is one of the best sort of attackers, like, game style show ones. I do like this castle. It's very fun to attack. Aisha getting some chip damage off, though. Is he able to get any more? He hasn't taken any damage, though. He's just sort of hitting the rocks around him. He's full blind, though. They've kicked that castle door there. No one to stop that. And there's the power. They've got that power. That might finish the round out there as power on this is quite good. Dad, full blind there, just holding that door. Foom's under castle door, I think. Yeah, he is. He's under the castle gate. Brocus and Centauro trying to just push up. Reptar with the saber holding that ruins area. And Fishy with a lovely snipe. The nade coming out. Reptar taking out Fishy though with the saber. Snarms, Aisha, Foom. They're all kind of stuck in this situation. Will Foom be able to do anything here? Is he able to take out Centauro and Playboys trading there? Aisha and Snarms both anchored on this bomb site. Snarms able to take out one. Aisha low HP. He might go for the push here. See Playboys flashing in. Is he able to take out Snarms? Aisha low HP here in a 1v2 situation. He does hear Playboys behind him. And Playboys just is able to push up on Aisha as he's holding this angle from that saber. And that is the round for Genesis. 3-1.
No, I think we saw a really strong start there from POGFISH, but when they fell back out of castle, I think that cost them. Now, obviously, I believe they were hiding from flashbangs, and that was a good play on them. I think they tried to hold it well, but Fishy pushing out into the attackers with the mop alone seemed like a questionable play, and that left Foom exposed. Really, they were in a rough spot there. There's one way out of that water, and they tried to take it, but really they just needed to dig in their heels and at minimum waste some flashbangs rather than walking into the attacker's line of sight. Buy some time for their team. Really, Snarms and Isha really trying to hold Pit well. Unfortunately for them, the time wasn't quite on their side, and they were able to get kind of pincered there. Really, really good try from POGFISH, really great plays from Genesis, able to kind of just come in and clear the sections one by one with multiple attackers, and really not lose too much there, especially on a full green. The defenders losing Mop, that's going to be big, especially coming into the factory that we know is at the end of this half. The loss of Mop is going to be huge. So we'll have to see how this round plays out. Obviously, we saw it go in Genesis's favor in the first set. Really great plays from Playboys with the auto shotgun and tellers. It'd be interesting to see how Genesis plans to deal with that and whether POGFISH plans to emulate it or not. We do see the same barbs going out, pretty standard play, although it does look like Genesis is planning to go into arcade. This could be a really strong play from them. It's going to be unexpected. Now, it does run into the same issues that you would run into if you were going storefront. In fact, you could almost argue that storefront and arcade are basically the same door, because in order to get the bomb, you have to go pretty much the same route. And again, I think this is one of those flaws, especially on the one red door storefronts or C-stores that we get a lot, which is just that the red door seems so utterly useless that you have to wall charge. I don't know if we're going to see Genesis wall charge here. It doesn't look like they are. They haven't marked anything for that. But again, I think it's just a flaw with some of this map design. Really, we do see, of course, them coming out now. It does look like they have a clacker. I have spotted a door charge, so I believe they're going shed. Maybe it'll catch POGFISH off guard. We do also see Foom and Tellers hoping to do the same thing with the auto shotgun as Playboys.
They've kick sheds here there. Oh, but Aisha trying to actually getting some wallbang damage there. Lovely play there from Aisha. Able to get a bit of damage on Centauro. And the door charge comes out. They flashed Aisha there. And they're just... The shed players are just pushing through there. Dad able to get a bit of damage onto Emphazine. Fishy pushing. Able to get Playboys. Able to get a second. Oh my gosh, he's getting chased by Emphazine. Will they be able to do anything? And they trade. Wonderful play there from Fishy. 3k and Aisha able to get the double. Very fast round there. Looked like it was in Genesis' favor, but, Fishy and Aisha were able to clean it up there.
I mean, I definitely think at the start there, it looked like it was probably going Gen. They were doing very well pushing, but they weren't doing much to the defenders. Like, the shots ringing out were all in reaction to the defenders trying to wall bang, and while they weren't really doing much, it was slowing them down and getting them clustered and allowing for the defenders, particularly Fishy, to rotate and to just send it. Send it around. And I don't think there was a call that there was, hey guys, there's a crazy shotgun man coming behind us. We should turn around and deal with that. And that allowed Fishy to get a nice little 3K off and have his team, kind of collapse in on the remaining two. Really great play from POGFISH. Fishy again just coming in. That's where Fishy needs to get those 3Ks. Not when he's the last player left. When he's the first one running into the building. I mean, that's why he does this kind of stuff on attack, because he can control that he's the first one in. On defense, it's a lot harder to do that. It requires some prediction and some luck. And Fishy knows this, but so he tries to do this. But I think we really saw how Pogfish wants to play defense in that round. Pogfish is really reliant on Fishy for defense by the looks of it. Fishy and a few other players, and they really require them to get those kills. If they start losing defenders, it starts going downhill. They need someone to get a kill. I'm almost gonna say that if Pogfish doesn't get the first kill in a round, we probably won't see them win defense. Of course, we're back on Operation Fleeting Balkan, the last map of this half. This is where we're going to see if Pogfish can tie it all up, get it on the factory. Of course, they just had a really big win on the C-Store, so it'll be interesting to see how they go here. It does look like Genesis planning to use their door charge on Office and their wall charge on Docks. This could be really good. It's really going to give them a whole corner of the map, and that's going to be very strong for them. But that corner of the map, while it does contain a lot of the cover of the map, it's still not going to clear out pipeworks. It's still going to leave Toxic as a potential flank route. Even servers, we do see some players in servers. I imagine they're probably going to try and use the windows the onto the fan. I don't know. Genesis has drawn their line past fan. We might see a player, particularly the Saber player, Reptar. No, he's not going up there. They're going south to Docks. Be interesting though to see if someone tries to take a peek through fan and if Fishy's able to take advantage of the window.
Yeah, I think MZine is trying to bait out that fan, maybe. Seems like Fishy. Oh, but Dad! Oh, just unable to. Just misses Playboys just by a bit and does take a lot of damage for spraying through that. We've got Aisha clacking. MZ trying to put that down perfectly so he doesn't take any damage. We'll see if he can do that well. He does take 7 damage, but is able to place it. Good trade-off there. They've got flashes ready. Are they going to be pushing in? We see the dock play coming out very soon, actually. They're going to try and just bait out as many mollies as possible, it seems like, from Office. And there goes the wall coming in. The dock, there's a molly, both Office and dock. Playboy's clearing out Office there. Pre-firing anyone that would be in there. Foom's on behind bomb and Aisha just holding his crossfire. Aisha, I think, full blind there. Playboy's able to take out Snarms from conveyors. Genesis are going to have to push up here oh, but Playboys takes out Fishy. They have a lot of bomb control. Pogfish have a lot of bomb control, but oh my gosh, that was a fast 3K. The Chiro, Brooklyn, and Empty all take out one to themselves, and that's the round.
Yeah, no,
that
really,
was fast.
As soon as Genesis came into the building, there was not much that Pogfish could do. It really was just a free fire zone. There wasn't a lot of places for Pogfish to hide and still have any line of sight on bomb. It really required them to either try and push into Genesis, which would not have gone well, or try and get the flank, which I guess still the same thing as pushing in, just slightly more likely to work. There was no way to passively hold that map once the attackers get in. Of course, we're coming in on our new maps. We're going to see a Kill House in this set. We're going to see Kill House Dome and C-Store. Just as we load in, this is going to be an interesting Killhouse to play. We do see Breezeway. We do see, of course, an odd little door in here. Now, this does pose some interesting questions. We do see effectively two green entrances on this map. We have a reception at the bottom and Breezeway, both of which go directly into club. In fact, the green doors are quicker entrances into club than either of the red doors. Using a charge on this map doesn't seem to be worthwhile. Yes, there's office in the north, which is, of course, a straight shot into club. But Breezeway, you could just cut straight in there. You don't even have to go, practically don't even have to go through a room. There's, of course, Brick House to worry about, but it's going to be up to the defenders to play in there. We'll have to see if they want to commit someone into there, and that's still going to be at a major risk to it. I don't know how you'd even defend this map. It seems like there's far too many entrances. There's no way to really control this. We do see some barbs coming out from POGFISH. They're assuming that Jen isn't going to go for office, and that seems to be the call. And they're putting barbs down to try and stop the reception and breezeway play. And it does look like Genesis is planning to go into the reception and try and probably split. I don't know if they're going to split kitchen and try and come in from two angles, or if they're all going to try and hard push into... I guess they have to go through kitchen. I did not notice that reception desk was cut off, but still, even so, this map really lends itself to these green pushes. We do see Dad playing off in the breezeway, ready to try and counter anyone there, along with Fishy covering the other side, but it does not look like they'll see anyone, at least not till they get in the building.
Well, yeah, we've got a full reception push coming through. They're sort of clearing. They're just trying to clear all these rat spots, you know. A lot of players on in Rivals right now have a lot of ratting players. You've got Photon and Chrome, who are sort of the main ones in Rivals right now. A double flash actually kitchen. I don't think the communication was there for just one flash. The door does get shotgunned open. Fishy with the molly to just slow down the attack there. A lot of wallbangs coming out, but with APs, I don't think they realised that the attackers have pistols. You can get good sort of chip damage off with pistols through wallbangs. Although Snobs is 1 HP. Fishy with a lovely shot into Playboys there. Asia with the molly out, ready to molly whatever happens. They have two flashes between them. Don't know if one flash comes out. I think Fishy's full blind there. And Emzine able to take out two. Foom, Asia take out Emzine. Centuro, Dad rotating around. Asia able to get a second. 3v2 situation here. Dad able to get a bit of chip damage, and Foom getting a kill there. Reptar gets Foom, but then Dad takes out Reptar there to end the round. Dad, who was just playing in Brickhouse the entire time with the comes through the rotate and is able to take out Reptar.
Coming in very clutch there for POGFISH. Able to just get that last little bit of damage needed to end Genesis's push. 3-4. Still anyone's game. As we load into, I believe, Dome is next. Yes, I can hear the crowds. We're coming into a new Dome map for this half. You know, we'll have to see what it's like, but hopefully we can keep seeing POGFISH with this defensive momentum able to really just challenge Genesis and, if not win, at least hurt their economy. We do have a particularly interesting and rather small dome. Honestly, it's quite nice. We have a green pit, which definitely is going to be a challenge to push with observation, watching it, and castle. But if they are able to push through, then they get observation and or castle, which, again, big, strong rooms. We see a double charge plan by the looks of it coming from Genesis. This could be really strong. Able to charge into observation and then charge into castle. That's going to give them two potential outlets to try and take bomb. And really, that's going to be a good position for them. It's really going to come down to whether POGFISH is able to stop that or not. We know how Pogfish likes to play, especially Fishy. We might see him try and come in and hit observation. That's going to be a good room to try and do it in, especially if he comes. Well, I guess all the windows or the north windows are in favor of the defenders. So if he comes in through there, he's going to be in a good position. But if he comes from the south, he's going to have to come from behind them or come and catch them off guard. It seems like the defenders have circled the jungle red door. They're a little worried about that. That is, of course, a fairly quick route to bomb. You'd want to use some smokes, but it's quick. Uh, we don't see too many players sit. We see Starms over in observation, but not any others. We just see Fishy playing up by ruins, playing up by that door. Probably he's gonna end up probably anchoring by the looks of his positioning. So it's really gonna come down to Isha and Foom and their ability to react to a wall charge from observation.
I don't think POGFISH are really ready for this double charge setup. I think Foom's gonna die to the wall charge if he's not careful here. They've already blown into observation. Just about to set up this wall charge. If Foom just... They might try and catch Foom out here. Snarm's trying to get some damage. Oh, Foom just edges that wall charge. And there it is, the wall charge coming out. Aisha getting taken down by Emzine. Broger's pushing in. Playboys are taking out Foom. They've got this castle control. This is just most of the map here. They have this castle control. That's basically them securing the round. All the POGFISH members playing so defensively. And there's the power. That could change the tide here. Fishy just sitting in ruins. Snarm's below ruins though. Dad, the Igmar up top. Able to take out one. Oh, but Fishy gets one. Isn't able to get a second, though. It's a 2v3 situation here. Snarm's in the 1v3 situation. Let's see what he can do. But he does get killed from above with those pesky MVGs, giving those attackers such an advantage when it comes to power off.
You know, really, that lights out situation created an issue. Now, they're able to kick down the castle door. Obviously, normally that requires power to drop it, but you can kick it down, so it didn't matter that power was off. So they were able to still push from two sides. So they were able to just get a huge advantage at no cost to them, especially with their NVGs. I guess they lost observation with power, but they were still able to push. Fishy was able to get one pick, unfortunately unable to get the other one. Genesis coming in. It's now 5-3. You know, we really got to see POGFISH. They got to win. They got to win this round in order to get a win. Otherwise, all the best they can do is tie, and they know that. But of course, it is C-Store. We've seen POGFISH do well on C-Store before. They do well on these close quarters maps, and this map is going to be interesting to watch. We of course have a Skylight storefront with a storage bomb. This is going to be one of those maps where I really think we're going to see a lot of POGFISH players shine. They are really good in these cramped environments, and Genesis, while they do generally push together, they can get caught off guard very bad. You send a player into them, and you know, you might get a pick or two before they get killed, and you'll definitely get that chip damage. We do see, it does look like there's an intended split to occur. We have a 2 marked on the freezer door. Of course, there's a lot of barbed wire there. And Fishy planning to play the auto shotgun and storage by the looks of it. That could be really powerful, able to really hamper this freezer push. They do have a frag, but it'll be interesting to see if it works. Now, I think the best way to counter this freezer push is going to be from storefront, but of course that's where the other Genesis players will be coming from. Genesis has marked off a whole section of the map that they don't want to go into. They don't want to touch arcade. They don't want to touch office. They already have a smoke for arcade, so any pesky POGFISH player playing in there is going to get cut off. They're moving it deeper because they don't want to allow someone in there to try and push them with cover. You know, that's a good play on their part. We do see flashbangs being prepped for storage. If Fishy's able to avoid those or able to proactively push as they're thrown, as we've seen him do before, I think we could see a devastating autoplay here. But yeah, it's really going to come down to how POGFISH how POGFISH really wants to play this, and it looks like they're kind of stacking in the back, which could be really bad if they lose storage control. I don't think this is a map you particularly want to play passive on.
Well, yeah, as you said, they're trying to just go through this almost as fast as possible. They've got this arcade smoke. They're just trying to get through without getting shot at all. You know, they're trying to just gain map control as easy as possible. But it doesn't look like they've blown this freezer area. And they're gonna push in soon. Reptar actually just clacking, and there goes the smoke. Lovely smoke there from Genesis. Reptar is in. And he's going to clear out this freezer. Fishy trying to get some wall bangs with the auto there. Don't know if any of them hit. But we see Fishy holding this this storage door with an auto, spraying through it. I think he thinks there's someone on the other side. Snarm's ready for that green push. He's got the molly ready. Dad and Foom still just holding these angles. Dad's still in office. Don't think he's been given the call to rotate yet. He has. He's still holding this office area. Boom. Still in arcade, and they've been told to rotate. Fishy pushing out, getting two. Is he able to get a third? Able to get a third. Lovely from Fishy there. The auto coming into play there. Vocalist trying to just get as much wallbang damage as possible, but taking a lot of damage from Foom there. Almost 1 HP. He's down to 15. Reptar, 49 for himself. We'll see if they can do anything here. They missed the flash. That's going to be bad for them. The final flash that they wanted, and there's Fishy with the ace. Wonderful play there from Fishy.
Oh,
just you went to push.
Beautiful. They were doing a wonderful little thing with the freezer door where they were closing it on the attackers, because the attackers had only shotgunned it open, or I don't even know if they had shotgunned it. Obviously, that's a free push door. But they were just closing it as they were throwing the flashbangs. They were listening for that. They were waiting for the door to open, and they were closing it. That caused the flashbangs to bounce back into the room and often go off back into freezer, and often go off in freezer with the door closed, protecting all the defenders in storage from the flash, if not the concussion. Really well played, using those little mechanics to your advantage, and of course the auto. The auto was devastating at those ranges, and they were just forced into it. And now we're on attack. It's 4-5. POGFISH is in this. If they can play a perfect attack, they've taken the game. And I think it's definitely possible with these maps. We do see, it looks like POGFISH planning to try and push Breezeway. And I think that this is probably a good play for them. They're really going to be able to try and come in there and contest Club. If they can get that frag on that wire, which... Little known fact about those double doors, I don't know how many people know this, the windows on them, you can actually throw flashes and nades through, so they don't even have to fully expose themselves. They just have to try and throw a nade through the window and get it to land here-ish. And it should take out the wire, easy peasy. Anyone trying to hold close, you know, is going to have to push back. They're going to be able to follow up flashbangs and probably just all push Club. If they can really push with cohesion and not all get gunned down, of course, the big concern is probably going to be backstage. That's going to be a nasty angle. And this little whole couch area is going to be kind of funky to deal with. Brickhouse is a worry, but I don't know if Genesis is going to play it. They're all setting up for a south push here. They've got the token barb on Breezeway just so they can't run in. But, you know, all things said, it looks like they're prepping for that. Though, POGFISH, they now have a wall charge marked on the stage. This could be very interesting. They could clear that stage as the other team pushes Club, and then suddenly there's really not much for the Breezeway team to worry about. Especially since we don't see any defenders playing in the Brickhouse. This could be a really huge push for POGFISH.
Well, yeah, if they are going along with this stage wall charge, you can actually jump on top. It is a possible jump to do. So they just do remove all of this kitchen and this back club area off the push. So it does seem like they are going all five reception here. They're just trying to not get hit by that that wall banging gem player on backstage. We'll see Reptar just putting shots through, and Dad getting a smoke over the top, trying to block off line of sight from Bar. Aisha taking out Empty though with the wall charge. Aisha pushing out. He's alone though. He's almost been mollied off. Is he able to do anything? He's pushing one, getting a second. Broken is taking out Snoms in the process though, and Aisha taking out a third. A 3k for Aisha. Is he able to go all the way and get an ace? Reptar pushing around though. Well, Aisha hears him. Foom hears him. Foom taking out Reptar, and it's just Broker's left behind Bar. Dad flashing him out, pushing him, and it does. Oh. There's the kill finally. And Dad gets the kill onto Broker's there. That is the round for POGFISH. It's 5-5.
It may not have been the cleanest push, but it worked out for them. Really, Aisha getting into the bomb room and just he was able to get 2 pistol kills there. Really well played. Genesis just kind of losing track of it in the fog of war. Now it's 5-5. Next team to win a round has secured the tie at minimum. And then after that, it's all up to it. I mean, POGFISH, we've seen them do the perfect attack before. We saw it last game. I think these maps are in their favor. I think we can see POGFISH do it here. This has, of course, been a very close game, back and forth. Not quite as attacker-sided as in that first round. I think this dome is probably going to be the biggest challenge for POGFISH to overcome. They've lost their wall charge, so they can't do the nice double charge that we saw from Genesis. They have circled the observation. Observation very strong. You do get a lot of line of sight. You, of course, have these windows, which tells you what's going on around bomb. You can see into castle. You can count how many people are in castle. You can watch your back through pit. They've got the frag for the barb. So if they can make it through, if they can push into ruins, I think they have a pretty good chance of this. This observation push alone is pretty good. Obviously, the wall charge makes it better. We do see an auto planning to play an observation. This could be really strong if the auto plays it right, but they're really going to have to react to it. They're either going to have to play off a Molotov, or they're going to have to rush them, because otherwise they're going to get flashed out. Or I guess they could just hope that POGFISH isn't going to flash their entry. However, I think we've watched, they generally flash their entry. In fact, Fishy has a flashbang marked right next to the auto shotgun marker, so I think they're ready to try and take that fight. Very risky play coming out here from Genesis, so we will have to wait and see how it goes for them. Genesis, they have some marks down to try and stop the other pushes. Only 2 barbed wire coming out on this map. Probably means they're saving a 4th one to use on C-Store. That could be really strong. That C-Store's really close. Having that extra barbed wire, especially if they use it in a late form, because they can they can have the first wire get fragged, and then just place down a second wire. So really definitely causing a potential strong play here if they do it right. We do see Brocules with the auto shotgun and the Molotov. We'll have to see how he plays though.
Seems like POGFISH are just trying to get this down as fast as possible. They got that door shot down very fast. They have already blown into Aisha. Oh gosh, Aisha getting damaged by that Molotov, and Reptar just destroying him with that maul. We've got the green push coming out as well. Dad able to take out that auto. That will clear out observation for the red POGFISH team. You know, removes complete danger. Genesis though wasting a Molotov on observation. And that Fishy and Dad are sort of just trying to push together. That smoke really not helping with Fishy's push. He's able to take out one, but does get himself traded. Dad against Centuro in that castle area, and Foom takes him out. It's a 3v2 situation here. Dad, no HP. See Reptar with the morp. They think they're going top ruins. They aren't holding these angles properly. They think they're going top observation. They're both holding it. This is a lot of miscommunications we've got. Both on the same angle. they even know that they've got power, but they're still holding that top area. And finally, as the castle door gets kicked, they realise that they're actually going castle. Reptar getting damage onto Snarms there. We've got
30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah. 30 seconds left. Playboy's AK trying to just get as much damage as possible. Reptar getting pushed. He does take out Dad. He's going to whip out the pistol, try and get a second. Snarms take him out. Playboy's in the 1v2 situation, low HP for both the attackers. And he's getting pushed over with the auto. Foom with the auto. Lovely play there and taking him out. And POGFISH have confirmed the draw. They need one more point to clear this out, and that will be them taking the win on this game.
POGFISH bringing it all together at the end. They just need one more round to push through and win. But of course, Genesis, it's all open for a tie. They're of course down to 2 players here on POGFISH, recovering both the Defender power weapons by the looks of it, the Auto and the Mop. This is putting the Defenders in a really bad spot. They don't have Auto Shotgun going into probably one of the most close-range C-stores I've seen in a long time. And the attackers do have that Auto Shotgun. This could be used to devastating effect. It's all just going to have to come down. I'm interested to see what POGFISH wants to do here. They don't have their wall. They're down to 1 door charge. You know, they could do some good plays. They could come storefront and try and push through there. They could try and clear arcade. It's going to be interesting. Of course, they lost a lot of night vision in that play too, so taking power isn't going to be a major hit thing as well. I'm not sure. If I were them, I think what I would want to do here is I'd want to go through the skylight into freezer and put my door charge on the storage door. We definitely saw POGFISH. They were kept closing the door on Genesis that last game, and I don't think they want that to happen to them. It's going to be able to clear the wire, so you can save a frag. You can put a frag into storage, clear that out, and of course you don't have to deal with that door anymore. I think that's what they want to do, or that's what they should do. But we'll have to see how it plays out. They've circled a lot of things, but well, it's yet to see what play they're gonna go with.
I think right at the end of that dome, POGFISH realized that it was C-Store, so they've dropped the Morp and taken it for an AK instead.
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely the better play. They're coming in. They should have a decent equipment setup for this. Genesis probably hurting on the equipment side. We'll have to see what they want to do. It does look like POGFISH does want to use the storefront, although I'm not seeing a door charge mark come out yet. So I don't know what they're doing with that. If they even have a door charge or a clacker, they might not.
It does seem like they're blowing this inside freezer door into storage.
Yeah, they do have a door charge and a clacker equipped, so maybe. If they getting that off, I think they're going to be in a good spot. Obviously, it does look like Genesis has set up a lot of defenses to try and watch the storefront, or at least ready to rotate into that. But it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to pull it off.
They're Genesis are all sort of praying that Playboys does something here. They've got 2 barbs that Playboys can play off, and he's already rotated it out. They've given POGFISH his storefront, which is not what you want to do when they're 1 point away from winning the series. They've naded that barb. There is almost nothing stopping them from getting storage. The door charge has been placed. They're going to blow this. Everything's going to take some damage. A lot of damage, actually. Almost down to half HP. And Fishy he's got a flash ready. They're flashing in. Deep flash goes in. Everything is full blind there. Reptar trying to do what he can, and I think this is the round for POGFISH. The auto shotty coming out, and that is the game to POGFISH.
Ooh. The only way they could have improved that is if they didn't frag the wire and instead threw the frag into the storage. I feel like that would have been almost a 3K with the frag based on how everyone was positioned in there. If of course they didn't fall back, and if they fell back, well then that's just a free storage where all the defenders are funneling through the bathroom door. Let Fishy get another ace with an auto. What a game!
Yeah, very well played to both teams.
Yes, both teams back and forth, but POGFISH coming out supreme, winning the game and the series. Uh, so that means they will be moving on to face Frisky Fraggers next weekend.
Yeah, they're lucky that they haven't got to face Neo next week.
Yeah, Neo is the team to beat here in Rivals. Uh, very much. This has been a great game to cast, a great game to watch with everyone. But of course, this is the end of the stream. We'll see you all next weekend. No games this Sunday, so everyone have a great weekend. Have a great week. We'll see you back here on Saturday for the rest of these promotion games.